So I really want you to tell me, what is it that you know about IMF and how is it run? That do you really understand what it is? And is your country part of IMF? And how is that really doing for your economy? Because the picture that they paint, they want us to see, it's them saying, oh, we are doing better, we're helping the economies of certain countries, we're giving them this, we're doing this for them. But in the meantime, most countries that rely on IMF funding, they are getting poorer and poorer. So what does IMF really do for these countries? Like my country, where I'm from, Namibia, it's part of IMF. And what really prompted me to ask this question is lately, I heard that they want to give people some money. And a few years ago, it was like the country is running broke, we've got no money, the government doesn't have money. And when I heard that they're giving money to people, that made me prompt and question, where did that money come from? Where is that money coming from? All of a sudden, there is money to give money to people. Where is that money coming from? And for me, I'm always advocating people to understand money. So that's why I'm saying, get yourself in the markets, right? Get yourself trading, get to understand really how to understand the system of money, how money is run on a global level and who's in control of the money. And IMF is control of that money, giving money to nations, giving money to countries. And what is that really doing? Argentina is one of those countries that owes IMF like heck a lot of money. It's 42.9 billion. How? Make that make sense. How in the world are they going to pay that kind of money back? How? So what they do is they give you, say, okay, we'll give you a little bit more to pay that back. We'll give you a little extra, don't worry, because most people don't read fine prints, and that was in the fine print, and people didn't read that. So therefore, going that hamstring wheel, the hamster wheel, it's going round and round and round, and people are stuck in that. This is why most of like African nations, they are stuck in that because they owe this huge amount of bills. So therefore, they cannot afford to pay back. And therefore, the nations, the country, the people, you and I, we are forever hungry. We will forever remain poor because of the decisions that our leaders are making for us, and because we, the people, we don't want to know, we don't understand. Because on a human level, you are hungry, you won't even think of going out to do things like that, to like go out to really understand how money works, right? Because if you can't feed your own kids, how in the world are you going to worry about IMF? What is even that? Is that even making sense? But they are the people that are taking away from your kids, if you really think about it. It's certain countries, because these things goes to certain countries. You're feeding certain nations. And most of us are remaining hungry. And so going to vote. To vote for what? What am I voting for, really? Because if I don't understand the economy in my own country, what am I actually voting for? How does money work? Because we don't know that. What actually am I voting for, really? And for what reason do I have to go out and vote? So it's important for you as a person to go out and educate yourself and make decisions on a person that you want to like run the country on the basis that they know what money is, how money runs, and how are they going to get us out of this debt that we owe to the IMF and sustain us as a country, because most African countries, they can sustain themselves without borrowing money from anybody, without taking money from anybody, and people holding them at gunpoint to say, you owe me this much money, so therefore I'm taking your diamonds away, therefore I'm taking your gold away, therefore I'm taking anything away, and give you a little bit of that, get almost labor for nothing. And that's how that's how things are run. And it's a thank you to our leaders, right? Get to question what IMF is. Now, so my question to you is, do you know what it is? You don't, but I will say to you, go on Google, find out what it is, how it works. It started in 1944. Of course, in America, it was to sustain like European countries, America, Japan, and when they like, okay, people were stable and happy, they could like live a better life, they had to go further afield, and that was the third world countries. And they started to take away, because now when the countries were set, like enough is enough, when they were colonized, they were standing up against themselves, they had to find a better way. They have to find a way where they don't have guns pointing at people's heads to say, we are going to kill your people and take your stuff away. No, they didn't need to do that. What they did instead is hand tie us. They tied us. They said, we will enslave you lot in another way. And that's by giving you guys debt, giving you loans that you won't be able to pay back. And we'll hold you on a leash to make sure that you guys don't go anywhere. And that's where we are. Owing IMF money, owing the World Bank money, when we can sustain our own economies. But we can't, because we owe these people money. We got to pay back. They get money for cheap, let's say, for example, 5%, and they give it to us for 8%. So most of the time, you're paying for the interest before you actually get to the debt itself. And what I will say, get to understand the words that you're using. So once you start opening up your own world, you'll get to understand how money works, understand the words that you're using, get to know how the economy is using, get to know how things go around. So the IMF, what they do is people pay, these countries, I say people, these countries to be part of IMF, they have to pay. And then that 8% that they're paying them back, they pay back for that loan. So that's the interest. They pay back that, right? So you take from the pool, you pay back, and then they take some of the money and invest it in the market. Some of the money that they take from us as nations, and they invest in the markets, make more money for them. Whereas our people are staying hungry and going hungry. Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me. It doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't make sense at all. But yet here we are. You can't question these things because you don't know them. You don't know how things work. And yet we are being told to vote for change. What change if you don't understand the basicness of it? So listen, I'll say, do yourself a favor. Please go out there. I'm asking you, I'm actually begging you to go out there and feed the mind. There are people who are fighting for all of us who want a better world. Feed your mind with better information. Go out there and be the change that you want in the world. Be the person that is changing the economy around you and the people around you. Do that. Be the person who's bringing information, feeding people with information. Be that person. Please go out there and fight to find your own purpose and not the money, because money will come without a question. Go and find your purpose and not the money, and I'll see you soon. Bye.